So on April 25th, 2025, Long Island auditor, well-known First Amendment auditor here in the States, will be deposing this infamous Sergeant Fahey from Connecticut for violating his civil rights once upon a time. And that's set to occur just a couple of weeks from today. So for those who may not have seen this and don't know what's going on, let's take a closer look at it, get a refresher, and then we'll go over it as we're going through this.
Let's get into it.
How you doing, Sergeant?
You're videotaping me?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I don't want to talk to you then. If you want to videotape me, then if you want to talk to me like a man, we can chat.
But what about you guys wear body cameras here? What's the difference?
I don't have a body camera.
Yeah, see, already. He would talk to me like a man. Like, bro, you're a police officer. What are you talking about talking to you like a man? You know what I mean? Like you clearly got it confused. He's a sergeant. He's standing here. He's requested to speak with the supervisor. So that's what brought this man out here. So as soon as he comes out, he said, "You got a camera. I don't want to talk to you because you got a camera. We want to talk to you like a man. We can, but I don't want to talk to the camera." Like, really, bro?
I understand that. Can I get your name, Sergeant?
Yeah, Brian Fahey.
Brian Fahey.
Yep.
So there's a serious civil rights violation going on here. So as I was explaining to your other trooper, I'm a journalist, independent journalist, working on a story.
Okay.
And I was gathering content for that story at the Bradley Airport. TSA became concerned about me filming.
Okay.
A supervisor came over. The first person who was concerned called the supervisor. Supervisor said, "You have every right to film. It's not an issue. I know your rights. You know your rights. Continue what you're doing." One of your troopers out of Bradley Airport, trooper.
How can I help you today with pistol permits? Can I help you today with pistol permits?
Why would I don't need help with pistol permits. I need help with a civil rights violation, as I just told you, sir.
But you can contact our internal affairs department. It's online, or there's a phone number.
But you're a supervisor.
I'm a supervisor in charge of special licensing and firearms. So all these people that are online, in 529 gun dealers in the state of Connecticut, that's what we're dealing with. There's an outlet for you to make your complaint.
There's a civil rights violation.
But there's an outlet for you to make your complaint.
I don't. Just looking at this whole interaction thus far, it doesn't really seem like this sergeant is interested in taking his complaint or being very genuine and authentic and trying to help him, solve his issue. He clearly has a grievance here, an issue. He feels like his civil rights. One Long Island auditor feels like, and indeed his civil rights were violated, and he's here to complain. And oftentimes people don't want to just immediately, a lot of times it gets misconstrued that these auditors are in this to make money through lawsuits. And while there may be some who are doing that, that is most certainly not the case. This is very dangerous work. It's patriotic work. And it's exposing to us all the holes in the judicial system and the law enforcement system, and the law enforcement portion of the judicial system in particular. Judicially, there are a lot of problems, but particularly this first wave of interaction with these egomaniacal, untrained, unskilled in many cases, LEOs or law enforcement officers.
And you can make that.
Why are you guys acting like this? I'm trying to make a serious civil rights.
What? I don't know what you. I can't help you with your complaint today. You have your outlet. You can call IA. I can get you the number, or you can go online and make.
This is the headquarters. Can't somebody just come down here and speak to me from internal affairs?
Our internal affairs division is not here.
Where is it? So I can go there.
It's in Middletown. It's in Meriden. I'm sorry, at North Colony Road.
It's in Meriden.
Building number 11, I believe. Yes.
Meriden.
Okay, so now it seems like, I can do something that can actually help this guy. Like, okay, he wants to talk to internal affairs of the building. That makes sense. But they're not here. Something he probably could have mentioned from the beginning, but he didn't. Go figure.
Yep. Can you get me that address?
Sure. 294 North Colony Road.
294 North Colony Road.
Yep.
Building what again?
I think it's building 11. I'm not sure exactly. You're going to go When you come into the complex, the forensic laboratory is going to be on your left. You're going to take a right. There's an island. It's the last building on the right.
And that's where they're located.
You have your outlet to make your complaint. We give you plenty of outlets to make your complaint.
Yeah.
And we've offered them all to you. You have the paperwork, right, to make your complaint?
Yeah, they just gave me the complaint.
Okay. Yeah. You can go right ahead. Go right ahead, sir.
But this is part of a thing that I'm going to fill this out, but
Fantastic.
I want to speak with somebody who can help me.
Okay, well then you can call IA, or you can go there, and if they have time to speak to you, they'll speak to you. But you have your outlet. You can go online and you can get the phone numbers.
Yeah.
You've given. We want to entertain your complaint through the proper channels. You want to make a complaint?
Yeah, which is through internal.
Okay, this is to me a skillful bureaucratic way of passing the buck, passing the blame in these interactions. How these police stations, cities, states, counties, how they all deal with these complaints, it varies. Sometimes you can go and speak to an officer locally, or chief, or sergeant, and that could make a difference. It's not. I don't think what Long Island Auditor here is not really after so much the complaint and the formalities of it. It's really more like, listen, before we even go that route, I'll talk to you since you're a supervisor. And if you could at least commit to me that you're willing to talk to those guys, that you're willing to look into the situation, that will suffice. But this guy, Sergeant Fahey, is not even interested in getting to that point.
Internal affairs.
Yep,
It's the
so
proper
you can give
channels.
him that. Yep.
I will go speak to them
All right,
personally.
have a great day.
You too.
Nice talking to you.
You as well. I'll be there with you guys.
You're all set here?
Excuse me?
Are you all set here?
Well, yeah, there's nothing else obviously you can help me out with at this point.
So you're all set. So you're going to go to IA right now, correct?
Yeah, I'll be there.
All right.
I'm going to be going.
Okay.
I'm going to be going.
Okay.
So, okay, here we go. This is, I'd imagine this getting ready to escalate. I can just tell by his face. His whole demeanor, right? Like he's just ready to escalate the situation. When everything about his position as a supervisor, first off, whether you're a supervisor or not, as a law enforcement officer, your primary concern, 9, if not 10 times out of 10, is to de-escalate a situation. Nothing about this guy's approach is de-escalation. You know what I mean? His whole thing is just, get out of here, get lost. We don't really want this camera guy around here looking to upset and penetrate this thin blue line, is how I interpret his body language and his whole approach thus far.
Stand here with your cell phone on.
I thought you were busy. I thought you were a busy man.
I am busy.
So you should get to work.
I should get to work. Is that what you're telling me?
If you're busy.
All right, the thuggery is getting ready to come out. He said, I mean, the whole thing is like, okay, are we in the jail cell, dude? Are we on the street corner somewhere? Like you said, I should get to work, right? Bang, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Seriously? Ridiculous.
We're gonna have a problem between you and I.
We're gonna do an interference.
His body camera's on. His body camera's on. Stop.
Are we gonna have a problem between you and I? Like, at the same time, look, I can kind of see the way that the sergeant looked at the camera. I swear to you that camera kind of helped check and balance that dude's ego. Man, I'm saying he was ready to go. He was ready to probably lay him out, man. Teeth missing, and his boys are there ready to back him up. You know what I mean? Mace, batons, everything. But that camera, it had him thinking 2, 3, 4 times just that quick. You know, and that's sad and sick. But it's also a great thing that there's a really a balance in the shift in the balance of power just through a camera from a cell phone. And while that is interesting, and it's great at the same time.
He has his body camera.
I don't care.
Stop,
I don't
man.
care.
Step back.
Right?
Step back.
This is private property.
I'm not doing anything.
You're not.
It's not true. Police are public servants. It's public property.
not going to
I will get
videotape
off.
me and
I'll
have
get
an
off of
attitude
it.
with me.
I'll get
But
off
I'm going
of
to
it.
tell you what
Where's your
right
phone?
now,
I'll
dude.
get off of
I'm
it.
not
Stop.
the one.
All right.
Okay, I gave you the information
trying
you
to make a
needed,
complaint, that's it.
and I gave you your outlet. Right?
I'm
You were
going.
giving your
I
outlet.
said I
no,
was
you wanted to
going.
stand there and hold your cell phone in my face.
I
Is
wasn't
what
in
you
your
wanted to
face.
do. Yes,
I
you
wasn't
do.
in your
Take your
face.
cell phone and go and make your complaint. Okay.
Okay.
Take yourself off. Take your phone and go and make your complaint, okay? You gotta be kidding me. I swear to God. It seems like, are these guys acting or something? But kid you not, they are not. This is actually what happened. And the whole reason we even had this footage here, this is coming from the phone, if you notice, was knocked out of the guy's hand. This footage here is coming from the body cam of the officer who was actually getting ready to arrest him while he was being assaulted.
Can I grab my
No,
cell
you stay
phone?
right here.
I'll get it for you. I'll get it for you.
What's
Where's your
wrong
car
with
at?
you
Where's your
guys,
car at?
man?
Where's your car at?
I'm gonna go, man. I'm going.
All right, no, but where's your car
Why
at?
didn't you
I'm
know where my
asking.
car's at?
For real, why you need to know my if that's how y'all move it? I'm not trying to tell you where my car is either, but I'll get out of here. We don't need to know where the car is, though, for real.
You were about to arrest me, man, for real?
I had
Is
to
your body
detain
camera
you.
on?
Yeah, my body camera is on, buddy. I'm Trooper Costello, 1139.
Costello.
Yep.
Wow.
Listen, with the
You
situation
were
that
gonna
you're
arrest me for real?
we're going to detain you or what the
This is not funny, man. He's like, wow. I'm like, wow. You were gonna arrest him. He's all listen. Everything about this Patriot First Amendment auditor. His hands are up, right? He's non-threatening. He's walking back as he's being collared, right? He's being collared, and he's walking on his own with his hands up and back. And the guy's already ready with his cuffs and all that. But I swear to you, in this scenario, I promise you, the cameras change the dynamic. And for those of us like myself who have been around a little bit longer, somewhere in the 80s, 70s, or longer, you were born in the 70s, 80s, earlier, or around then, and you're a person of color who's lived in urban areas, or who's dealt with police like this for a long time, we're tearing down a lot of this infrastructure. A lot of it is still in place in places like Connecticut. Connecticut looks like it's going to be a tough one. They don't want to let it go. This old school sheepless Klansman way of dealing. But as you see here, this is how it goes, and he could easily and just this Brian Fahey, the sergeant, can easily, and you'll see he eventually does. He word plays and manipulates in his reports to make it look like he's the good guy, he's innocent. There's this criminal invader here who had ill will, ill intent. It was for my safety, blah blah blah. Right? Let's see where this goes.
situation was going on, man. You're being.
I'm leaving.
Conversation's over. Go ahead. Let's go. Thank you.
Don't go anywhere yet. We still have one more egregious incident to cover. Sergeant Fahey just can't control himself. First, I would like to remind everyone that the state's attorney investigated the matter and found no criminality, and Fahey was cleared of any wrongdoing by Internal Affairs. There is a silver lining, though, because after the first incident, the Hubbard Police Department in Ohio invited me to participate in a First Amendment training.
Okay, so Sergeant Brian Fahey was investigated by the Internal Affairs Department. No, I'm sorry, the state's attorney in Connecticut, and was, to our surprise, cleared of any wrongdoing, and he didn't do anything wrong. Okay, part of that is the way he constructed his report, and I kind of skipped over that here, but let's listen to Sergeant Fahey's justification of why he did what he did.
From Sergeant Fahey's written statement. As I stood at the front door waiting for him to leave, at one point he told me I should go back to work. As I put the as he put the camera closer to my face, I didn't see that, did you? I told him that he and I were going to have a problem. Then I reached. So when he told him he should go back to work, you could obviously see his ego didn't like that, right? So in order to justify his going hands-on with this
Patriot, he says, oh, he put the phone, so he's basically trying to paint the picture like, oh, he put the phone right in front of my face and was like, go back to work, right? That's the picture he's trying to paint through his report. And remember, while they may not say it, oftentimes, more often than not, in a lot of these places, the officers are assumed to have goodwill, good intent, be honorable, be upstanding. So to simply put it in writing in a way like that would suffice. It's not like, they're really combing through any of these things with a fine-tooth comb here, and they're really trying to determine if this conduct of the officer was good or not. The assumption is it's good until you have clear and really undeniable evidence to the contrary. And even then, they're still going to try to figure it out in the way of the officer. That's the judicial system that we're dealing with, and that's what we're looking to change.
Reached up to move his hand away. Through my training and experience as a law enforcement officer, I know that cell phones can be altered and modified to be used as tasers or a firearm.
So Officer Fahey says in his training experience as a law enforcement officer, he knows that cell phones can be altered to be used as tasers or a firearm. Now, while I'm sure that there's some kind of casing or something that people can do if they really wanted to, I'll ask you, have you ever heard of someone other than maybe a particular state who's terrorizing another non-state entity and its people? Other than that, have you ever heard of someone using a cell phone as a weapon with a working camera?
Fictional crap, in my opinion.
Camera of mass destruction.
Here it says 5 inches away from the sergeant's face. You were nowhere near that. This part says at that point the male was escorted away from the building and back to the center island in the front parking lot. As he was walking backwards.
Escorted backwards. Yeah, I was just like walking backwards.
I was holding onto the bottom portion of his shirt to ensure he didn't trip over the curb or lose his balance and fall backwards.
I was holding him, right, for his safety. For his safety. What a sicko.
On his YouTube channel, the male describes being violently pushed backwards. But as seen on the body-worn camera footage, this never happened. The male and I spoke for a minute, and then I went and picked up his phone and handed from the mulch. It sounds very innocuous. Like nothing. Like if you didn't see the video, you would think nothing happened. Fictional crap.
I also had the opportunity to expose Fahey on mainstream media.
Sergeant Brian Fahey of the Connecticut State Police Department agitated himself. He assaulted me. I can't control another man's actions.
Now let's take a look at the second incident. Remember to leave your questions for his deposition in the comment section right below the like button.
Look, everyone, it's Sergeant Brian Fahey in the flesh. There he is. Look at him. In the flesh. He's here.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
You already told me you didn't have anything here.
Oh, yeah, I just got to do some FOIA requests and things
Some
like that. A FOIA request for your body camera footage and Sergeant Brian Fahey's disciplinary record.
Yeah, so he actually, like what we're seeing, the angle we're looking at is because he was able to get her body cam footage, which again is in the public domain, that's public information. And if you're going to do this kind of work, we definitely want to keep the ball moving on that whole thing, requesting this footage, using the footage, breaking down the footage, and letting them know that this whole thing is not going to just be a one-sided pillaging of us as American men and women.
You can have it, send it in writing.
Yeah.
Who's the guy behind you that
I have to conduct business here, Sergeant.
Sir, what can we do for you? Come on.
Oh, you're the Sergeant of Pistol Performance, aren't you?
Come on.
Go ahead. Come on in, sir.
Sir.
Somebody, he's like, sir, what can we do for you? The guy's way back. He's walking to the building, but he hasn't even got there yet. So here he goes again with all his childlike immaturity, ready to go full-on egomaniacal maniac with the camera. He just can't handle the camera for some reason.
Please, sir, you have to get out of the way.
Sir, I know your inclination is wanting to assault me, Sergeant. Stop pushing me. I'm trying to get in. I'm trying to get in the
You can't come in the building. You have no business here.
I do have business here. Stop acting like a savage. What are you doing?
He just said, "I'm trying to get a FOIA request." I think it was FOIA request, or FOIA, Freedom of Information. So that's his business, and then you got to come in there. This is so embarrassing. State of Connecticut, you're taking one on the chin, as you should. As you should.
The security camera footage clearly shows Sergeant Brian Fahey violently take my camera from my possession, stopping it from recording. I want you all to take a moment and think about what would happen if one of us did this to a law enforcement officer.
Right.
Back up
Take
before
my
I
phone
arrest
again.
you.
I have other
Back
people
up before
watching.
I arrest you.
Yeah, you don't have to think long about what would happen if the roles were reversed. Okay. If we were to snatch off the body cam footage or a camera from a police officer for whatever reason, it's 9+ times out of 10, it wouldn't be. It's fair to say, at least, it's not going to go the way it went in this case when he took his phone.
Her body camera's on.
That's fine. Get away
like
from
to
the
do
door.
things in
You
front of
don't need
people's
to
body
block the
camera.
door. Don't block the door.
No one's scared of you,
Don't.
Sergeant.
I didn't say you were. Don't
I'm not
block the
scared of
door.
you.
Don't block
I'm not
the door.
scared of you.
Don't
Sir.
block
I'm not
the
scared of
door.
you.
Just
Don't
back up.
block the
Scared of
door.
you.
Don't block
You know-
the door.
Yeah, I'm not scared of you.
Don't block the
Do
door.
what you gotta do.
Don't
Do what
block
you
the
gotta
door.
do. Do what you gotta do, because I'm not scared of you, Sergeant. I'm allowed to come into this building.
Correct. Thank you.
Why are you so mad, Sergeant?
I'm not mad. I hope you have a great day.
Oh, yeah, after you assaulted me, right? Yes, you.
Oh. This is ridiculous. I hope you have a great day. Oh, man. These people, man, it's not even funny, but I just got through watching The Dark Knight a little bit ago, and Batman: The Dark Knight, and yeah, I remember when Joker was telling Batman, these people's moral code is like a bad joke. When the chips are down, they'll eat each other. And a guy like this, trust and believe, is dog eat dog in his world. You know what I mean? He somewhat can operate within society as it is because he feels like he can wordplay and navigate, and he's understood the hierarchy and the structure that he's in, the bureaucratic structure that he's in this law enforcement building in Connecticut. And this is precisely why one Donald J. Trump is making so many cuts, because this is what bureaucracy in general does to people, right? You start feeling more authoritative and entitled and aggressive rather than humble and servile and respectful as the public servant, keyword being servant in public, that you actually are. You know, it's madness.
You did. You did it last time. You did it again. Because you're scared. You wouldn't do it without a uniform.
Because I'm what?
You're scared.
Oh,
you
yeah.
wouldn't do it without that gun on your hip and that badge.
You wouldn't do it without that
You
phone?
wouldn't do it. Let's take them all off, right? That's what I thought.
All right, fellow patriots, Sergeant Fahey was totally cleared after this incident as well.
Yeah, he was totally clear. Listen, it's not even funny, man. At that point, it's pretty sad, sick, sorry, and ridiculous. Hopefully, this whole deposition set for April 25th for Law and Auditor works out in his favor, which is also in our favor. And at the very least, a tyrant like this, who is probably hoping to be commissioner or at least more than a sergeant at some point in life, would like to retire well, you know, have a six-figure salary, be in good shape, have his boat and his golf course and all that. That's the goal, right? Riding around with your law enforcement plates and just having this feeling like I really run this world. You know what I mean? I'm really above what everyone else is doing, which is not what law enforcement is supposed to be about. In some places, we may think law enforcement has lost its way. I'm here to tell you, in some places, its way has always been lost from inception. And if we take issues with officers such as this Sergeant Brian Fahey and with law enforcement tactics such as the ones that this Sergeant Fahey is projecting and using, this untactful, egomaniacal, malicious way of dealing, then speak about it. Do something about it. At the very least, if you can chime in on this channel here with Long Island Auditor and help him in some way, even if it's just views or spreading awareness or whatever. Do whatever you can wherever you are with what you have. And even if you don't have a voice, you can at least hate it in your heart. Because conduct like this most certainly is despicable and should be hated. And if there's going to be any change anywhere, anyhow, it's going to have to come from you and me.